Welcome to the Rapport Advantage podcast, transforming the way leaders communicate. Here's your host, human behavior expert and professional speaker, Alex Swire-Clark.
Welcome to the show, everybody. My house is full of candy.
Oh, the old Halloween tricksters.
Yes, they brought home 15,000 pounds of candy apiece, and it's just overwhelming. But it's kind of funny. They all get on the floor when they get back, sort their candy, and then they trade. So Halloween is a 3-step process at our house. Number 1, acquire candy. 2, sort candy. 3 is your trades of candy. So we've got folks who like chocolate. We've got folks who really own the sour end of things. We've got folks who are all about the Skittles. So everyone kind of gets their own little niche, and it works out well.
With 5 children and 5 bags of candy, that must be really interesting to watch.
It is crazy. It's crazy. And as they say, sharing is caring, which transition us right to our topic of the day here on the Rapport Advantage podcast, which is talking about high S's. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, stop, go back and listen to episodes 2 through 6, which are the foundational knowledge of the DISC model of human behavior, which is what we talk about on this show. We are here to help you break down the walls of miscommunication, increase your emotional intelligence, and build better relationships in the workplace and beyond. Wait a minute, that is what we do. Dude, control your buttons. That's the right one. Thank you. I am Alex Swire-Clark, CEO, speaker, and emotional intelligence expert.
And I'm Liz Parker, behavioral analyst, certified.
Certifiable.
Oh my gosh, what am I today? Okay, it's 9:00. I'm not used to this. So anyway, I'm back to certified behavioral analyst, job benchmarking, and strategic growth consultant. So good morning, Alex, and my apologies.
Oh, it's okay. That's why we have editing. It's all great. This show is all about you, so find out more about us at The Rapport Advantage on Facebook, on Twitter at Rapport Podcast. You can visit the website at rapportadvantage.com. We are doing a Go Live today, but by the time you hear this, the Go Live will have already been done. We're going to be talking about high Ds a little bit today, even though we're talking about high S's on the show. So the show topic today is the third of our 4-part series of selling and the driving forces behind each style. What motivates them to make a buy, and what do you need to do as a salesperson to effectively engage them and get them to say yes? Because that's ultimately what we're trying to get to. So we've got 5 of those bullet points today, and we'll start with number 1, which is to be sincere using a quiet tone, simple examples, and explain your details. So, in our sincere, quiet tone, we don't want to come off as pushy or aggressive. S's will just shut down, and they will not purchase from you at that point. So, use a more quiet tone. Use simple examples. Don't get too complicated with metrics and spreadsheets and whatever. Just say, if I start with A and we do use this product, then you're going to get B. Just make it nice and cut and dry, very simple. And then explain those details to the point that they feel secure, and not to the point of information overload, because you don't want to give them too much information like you would a high C who needs all that. You just want to give them enough information that it makes sense to them.
Alex, one of the things that you mentioned that I think back to my selling days is that example, just not even just the simple examples, but examples. There's a lot of our styles that we just assume people will understand, and being able to really explain what this will do and put it in a real life context for S's, I think is a key. So I just wanted to pick that out to comment on that, because I think that's really important.
Indeed. You got number 2.
I have number 2. The second one is involve the family if the family is impacted by the decision. So when you're selling, you want to be sure that you are thinking about the person's whole life. Looking at the fact that, hey, if you buy this, it means that your job gets done a little bit more quickly, and you can get back home and you can be there at the soccer games. It's all that as far as thinking about how this maybe gives him more money to work with the family, do more things. If they save money being able to buy this product or service, they can actually go out and do more things with their family. Tell me, though, from a high S standpoint, living in that world with a big family, how does it impact you?
Well, it impacts me because of this phrase that we've used frequently on this show, and that is, it's all about the we, not the me. So how does this impact my family life, and how is this going to impact us in terms of, well, if I make this move, am I going to be on the road more? Well, if I'm on the road more, that means less time with the kids at home, which means less daddy time and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we will make more money. And so that is an accomplishment we get, but we have to suffer the deficiencies of that time. So which is more important to you? So if you're a person that's in human resources trying to sell someone on a position you have, then you need to be considerate of that as well. And if you're talking about selling a product, how is that going to impact them? If you're going from B to C standpoint, how's that going to impact them as a family? If you're selling vitamins, obviously that's going to be helpful in terms of the longevity of kids or wife or spouse or whomever else. And then, that kind of thing. So just from that global perspective, how's this going to impact me? But more importantly, everyone who are all the folks that are important to me in my life.
Well, which actually was your number 3 actual piece.
Oh, dadgummit.
So beautifully blended.
Yes, which was focus on the how it's going to impact the people in their lives. So, yes, let's just pause a moment and.
You did a beautiful job.
Yeah,
you really did. It really went from involving the family to impacting the family. And that's a real curiosity for me, because when you said it's about the we, not the me, being a total high I totally forget that. I make my decisions, and then later I just tell my husband, oh, by the way. And it's like, he's like, well, didn't you even think of me? And I'm like, no. And that's the high I rather than the high S. So I think that's a really key point.
Yes. S is all about the we, not the me. The I's are all about the me, forget thee.
Okay, that's a new one. I haven't heard that one. So let's go to number 4, which is stress security if they buy now, or loss of security if they wait. And, living with a high S, that's exactly what ends up happening. Is I find that as we look at things that we want to do, we did solar on our house. And as we started thinking about this and we started going, hey, is this what we want to do? Is this not what we want to do? We realized the way that the rebates were right now, that if we got in there, we would be able to do it right now, and it would save us all kinds of money, which in the long term cuts our energy costs down. So not to sell solar right now, but that's, as I'm thinking about this, stressing that security was to say, hey, we actually get these fabulous rebates if we do this right now. And that saves us in the long run. So it hit both of our needs right there when we started thinking about it as far as the timing goes.
That's right. And if you go back to we talk about that the high S's are the timeshare salesman's best friend. They always talk about, well, if you walk away, that's it. You don't get a chance to do it again. So from that standpoint, the loss of security if they wait, we won't have that opportunity again. That kind of triggers those high S's a little bit. Well, gosh, honey, if we don't do it right now, there's always going to be another timeshare. There's always going to be another opportunity. There's always going to be another house to buy. There's always going to be another, chance to do this or that and the other, assuming that everyone is healthy. So don't get locked into those things if you are an S. But if you are someone selling to an S, just you want to stress that whole thing about, look, this is going to improve your life. It's going to keep things stable. It's going to keep things the same. You want to have that same income and ability to travel or whatever that you're doing now. When you get ready to retire, invest in this product. It will allow you to do that. And so sameness is huge for those S's.
Yes, and I would like to just reemphasize and security. When you think about it as the salesperson standpoint, security is so key that if you can show them how they will feel so secure, then you've got a customer for life, because that is a primary driver.
That's right. Like whole life policies, annuities, those things appeal to high S's. High D's, I don't want to tie my money up there. I can do something, make some action. I can go to Vegas, baby, and triple it. So
big risker.
Exactly. And our final one is showing how your product will do the complete job so they don't have to do anything later, which is huge for them. If you want to have someone buy your product and say, okay, buy this washer, got a 10-year warranty, which doesn't exist in washer land, but you got a 10-year warranty, parts, labor, we'll come and take care of it. We'll do the semi-annual clean out of it, fix it up for you, never have to worry about it again. The last phrase, never have to worry about it again, is huge for those S's. They'll buy that simply because, hey, I'm never going to have to touch it again, and it's going to do what I'm buying it to do. That product will do X, Y, and Z, and it's your job as that salesperson to show them how that product is going to do everything from A to Z for that particular service or that particular product that they're trying to purchase. And once you've done that, you can say, okay, in addition to that, here's the way that we're going to back that through warranty or whatever the other bells and whistles are that you have. So it's important to make sure that they understand it's going to cover everything, because the last thing they're going to want to do is, well, how about when this thing happens? Or what about when we move? Or what about, can we give this to my children after we pass away? All those kind of questions are the kind of questions they're going to ask.
Oh my gosh, and I just have to comment, because remember I talked about the solar. That was one of the things. It was like, this stays with the house. You're going to have this for years and years. You'll never have to worry, and it'll be great value later. And the kids, if they get the house, they never have to worry about electricity. It was just like, oh my gosh, you hit it exactly. So lovely, lovely link to that.
Well, we high S's try to please other high S's because we are pleasers.
You are wonderful at that, by the way. So can I just make one more comment? Because what I find that the listeners might not understand is that we have been doing this for years, over 15 for me. And as we have conversations with other styles, just like you and I do on a regular basis, we still find out more things. We still see how people tick. I'm still getting ahas. So I really encourage them to go back and continue to listen, because there are nuances in all of this that help to deepen this as you go on. No matter how much you know, there's always more to learn.
Absolutely. And, our guest speakers come on. They've got great insights. We've talked about emotional adaptation. That's a huge, huge episode for us. It's probably our second most popular, and it was one of our first ones we did back in probably around episode 8 or 9. Just talking about what the struggles are with emotional adaptation and how it causes conflict in the workplace if you don't understand this knowledge, and what you can do to remove that conflict, increase engagement, increase employee retention. It's all based on understanding that, we are who we are, but we can adapt to others to meet them where they are and be successful as a result.
Nice.
That's going to do it for today's show. I'd like to thank Liz Parker, as always, for joining me today. Liz, how can folks get in touch with ye?
They can email me at liz@ltresults.com, or they can go to my website at ltresults.com. How about you, Alex?
ltresults.com. Call today. Well, you can join our Facebook group. You can head over to Facebook and search the Rapport Advantage podcast. Our group's going to appear there. You can click to join that. We're building a community. Love to have you part of that. You can also visit us at rapportadvantage.com. On our next podcast, we will finish up this 4-part series talking about the sales drivers for the different styles. We will be talking about our high C's and how to best approach them. They are tough cookies, tough nuts to crack, but we'll give you some details and give you some insights into how to work best with them.
All right.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Rapport Advantage podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Join the conversation on Facebook at the Rapport Advantage and follow us on Twitter at Rapport Podcast.